Good morning, virtual villagers. My name's Kate from What Kate Made. I am here today to talk to you about Christmas presents on a budget. And today we're specifically going to talk about things for kids. It seems, being a woman of a certain age, when my kids were little, it was, they were presents. Nowadays, you seem to buy presents for everybody. You buy presents for teachers, there's presents for all the kids in the class, all this sort of thing. It seems to have got a little bit out of hand, but you don't need to spend a fortune on presents for children, um, particularly things like gift packs that you see. What I'm going to show you today are a couple. I'm trying to get your feed up. This always happens to me. Are a couple of gifts that you can do with small items bought at budget shops. So I love a pound shop. I love a pound shop. So I'm always looking for bits and pieces when I'm out and about. The other thing to make your presents cheaper is packaging. Now, at this time of year, we'll all be getting loads of stuff through the post. So packaging from parcels is really handy. A handy source of cardboard. So particularly these flat ones, or you get lots of small boxes. So things like this are excellent. That's even still got a plastic bag inside it. They're really good as well for storing things. But things like this are excellent for making your own gift packaging. You would pay quite a bit for a decorated gift box. The other thing that is handy, but you do have to buy, are things like cellophane roll. Now, this is florist cellophane. This is a roll that's about 50 metres. I think it cost me about £8.99. It's not hugely expensive, lasts for ages. Other freebies, things like the tubular snack cartons. I don't know whether I have to be careful about naming products. They're really good. I have loads of those somewhere in my craft cupboard, and this morning I couldn't find them. Paper tubes. Now, I get these long ones from a friend who uses a lot of those paper rolls, but the ones that come out of your other paper rolls will do just as well. They're handy for making little, cutting into little sections and making those little pillow-shaped gift boxes out of. What else have I got here? I've got here some gift wrap from a certain budget supermarket. And the reason I bought it, well, there's two reasons I bought it. It's got all like children's things on. I think it's the Grinch. You're far away from me today, so I'm not going to be able to show you very much. But I like the fact that it has no plastic, and I think it might even be recyclable. So there's quite a bit on there, and it wasn't hugely expensive. So when you get plain gift boxes, there's things you can cover them in to make them, or in packaging boxes, you can cover them in either in gift wrap to make a little hamper, or I still have some of this I've had for ages, which is sticky back plastic, and it's nice. It's gold, it's silver glitter. So things like, if you're making a cellophane gift wrap, wrapping up a gift pack, you might want to put a bit of card in the bottom to stabilize it, and it's a good idea to cover it with something. So enough about wrapping, because that's not what we're here for today. Now, I haven't got my usual here's one I made earlier, because I want to make them up as I go. And I'm going to make, if I have time, I'm going to make 3, but I'm going to definitely show you 2 really nice stocking filler type gifts. And the first one is a hot chocolate pack. Now, as I said, I went through the supermarkets and found lots of nice little things that I can use with some, left. Oh, the other thing to collect is jam jars as well. Jam jars make great packaging. So what I found on my travels were that is a hot chocolate bomb. Now these are nice. You can use hot chocolate powder. I've got hot chocolate powder here as well. But these were nice. They weren't expensive, and you just drop them in the cup basically. So even the littlest ones can manage that. I also found in the same place a nice biscuit shaped like Santa, so that'll go with your hot chocolate. I got marshmallows, and that's a great big bag, and it was about £1. So, you know, they'll do for lots of different gifts. What else was I going to put? Oh, yes, I got, instead of a wooden stirrer, I got these candy canes. And again, it's a big pack, and I will use these at Christmas. These make really good stirrers. Can't get into the packet. Where's my scissors? To stir your hot chocolate bomb in. I put loads of ribbons in my pack this morning, and I can't find my scissors now. There we go. Now, I had thought I brought a mug upstairs. I was going to package them into a mug, and I can't see it now. Anyway, never mind. You can still use all your different things. So, I thought I'd also put a pair of cosy socks in it, because there's nothing better sitting with your hot chocolate if you've got cosy socks. I've got a couple of pairs out of my stash. So that one's got this green and red, and that one's got a Santa on it. So I think I'll use the Santa ones. Right, so once we've assembled our various ingredients, we need to start thinking about packaging them. As I said, you could put a mug in this one if you wanted to add a little bit extra money-wise, but I spent less than £5 on everything here. And as I said, the candy canes and the marshmallows will make more than one gift. So, you know, you're spreading that cost out. So the whole thing is costing me quite a small amount. Right, so packaging them up turns this collection of budget items into a really, really nice gift. I'm going to package them in a cellophane bag. Now the bag just makes it slightly easier than using, I'm trying to keep it away from a hot glue gun, than using the cellophane rolls. And these bigger bags, you slowly do. So I'm going to just open up the gussets a little bit. And I'm going to put a piece of card in the bottom. Where's that thing I had earlier? I've got so much stuff on here today, I can't find anything. And I've just had the scissors in my hand. Please forgive me for being so disorganised. I do this all the time. I put things down and I can't find them again. Luckily, because I'm a crafter, I have loads of scissors, so bear with me while I get another pair. You're probably all shouting to me out there. There they are, they're there. You can see them and I can't. Right, so I'm going to cut out this card. Just cut the front panel off it. It makes it a little easier to handle. And I was just thinking I might make it a circular base. I wanted to draw around something. I've got a compass over there, so I shall just get that. A lot of what I'm going to show you today is as much about making the gifts look expensive as having expensive gifts. I mean, we don't have any small children in our family. Well, we have one. So we don't do a lot of buying for little children. But next time, I am going to show you some for adults. So what I've done is drawn a circle on my card. And I'm going to cut that out carefully. And I'm going to cover it with some of that nice children's wrapping paper, just to give it a little bit of a Christmassy effect. So that's that. So that's my card. I'm going to cut my circle of paper out slightly bigger. Let me move some of these things. How do I get into it? It's one of those days today. There we go. It says peel here, so I'm assuming that's where you peel it open. And I'm going to just cut that end bit off. just going to move these things slightly to one side while I draw another circle. And this time I'm going to draw the circle a bit bigger because I want to wrap it over the edges. I'm not sure how much you can see of what I'm doing, but I'm not doing anything complicated today that you're going to need to, apart from this, it's just proving complicated. You're not going to really need to hear to see what I'm doing. You can just follow the instructions. So that's a bigger circle, and I'm going to cut that out. Now the reason I've drawn the bigger circle is I want to fold it underneath as well, so I'll get a nice neat edge. Now I am going to be doing 2 more sessions of Christmas on a Budget. One with gifts for grown-ups or older children, because your teenagers aren't probably going to want one of these, and one on presentation, wrapping, decorating, all that sort of thing, where you can really save yourself a bit of money. So if you're planning to watch ahead to those sessions, start rooting through your Christmas decorations now. Pull out any that you would have thrown away, and I will show you a few tricks on how to make them a bit more friendly. Now this should be hot now. I'm going to use hot glue just because, as I always tell you, it's quick for me. It's not ideal. You'd be better off with I knew I was going to run out of glue. You'd be better off with PVA or glue stick for this job. My glue is a little bit reluctant. And it sets too quickly as well, especially when it's not so warm in the house. Right, so I've covered that, and I'm going to centre my nice wrapping paper on it with the, I've managed to get naughty or nice right in the middle completely by accident. Then you just simply cut wedges round. Now you will want to probably colour coordinate. I mean, this one, very typical red and green Christmas colours. I don't know what's going on with my glue stick, but it's not happy. There we go. But I mean, if it's a girl, you might want to use pink and silver, or purple, blue and silver. You might not believe in all these gender specific colours schemes. I'm too old for that. Right, so we've got Irene with us this morning. I'm sure we've got more than just Irene. Does anybody else want to say hello? But hello, Irene. So that's covered the base. Then I'm going to pop that base into my poly bag. Oh, really, it's cellophane, I suppose. So that gives us a nice base for our gift bag, and it will stop everything wobbling and moving inside it. So we'll get round to putting it all together now. I have some smaller little bags here. If you were using hot chocolate, you could use a small, you can't see them because they're see-through, a smaller cellophane bag to put your hot chocolate in. I'm going to put my marshmallows in this because I've got my chocolate bomb. So I'm going to just, I have washed my hands, by the way, before I start handling all this food. I might end up eating some of these. I'm not a big fan of marshmallows, but I've been very good about sweets in the last 3 weeks, and now I'm starting to crave sweets because I've got the house full now. I'm not allowed to eat them. So there's a nice generous serving of marshmallows to go on the top of your The only thing we can't put in these is the whipped cream, for obvious reasons, that it will go off. But, you know, you can always put a little recipe inside. That would be nice. The other thing I've seen quite often with them is the candy cane crushed up. And then putting, you know, a little pack to add to it. But I'm not sure, personally speaking, if that would be, whether it would melt even. So, socks next. I'm going to roll them up like that. Now, another thing I bought on my trolls around budget supermarkets, town shops, these are hair bobbles. But if I hold them close, the Christmassy hair bobbles. And I thought, oh, wouldn't they be nice for fastening the socks and something else that I'm going to use in one of the adults ones that I want to roll and keep tight. So I'm going to use the snowman one. I'm going to roll those socks up and then fasten them with the hair bobbles so they don't unroll in the package. And it also is an extra little part gift. So that looks nice, doesn't it? Right, so I'm going to put that in the middle. I keep saying so. Put that in the middle. And then the other items I'm going to arrange around the bag so that they face forward so that you can see everything. Actually, I think I might pop that candy cane in the middle of there. That looks nice. So a lot of this is as much about presentation as about how much money you spend on a gift. So I'm going to put the marshmallows in there. I'm just going to move that slightly to one side because the bomb's quite big. Chocolate bomb. And then the biscuit. When you're buying things for these, I mean, like the biscuit has quite a long date on it. You need to find things that are not going to go off while the, you know, so if you make them a bit in advance, they're not going to be out of date by the time you get around to them. So all we need to do now, I'll lift that up and let you see. So there's our hot chocolate bomb and our biscuit, marshmallows and socks. We just need to tie it up with some ribbons. Now, I like to use more than one ribbon. I like to use 3 or 4 ribbons together. So for this one, because it's mostly green and red, I'm going to use green and red ribbons. This has got all tangled because it fell on the floor when I was setting up my thing today. So I'm taking a piece about 18 inches of the red. And I've also got some nice green kind of, is it organza? See-through ribbon. I'm going to take a piece about the same length. That's got a bit tangled as well. It's a piece of the same length. Cut that. Now at this point, if you're not too good at bows, you could put a rubber band around your bag to hold it. Now, what I usually do is I get the 2 lengths together and I wrap them around my bag, making sure that the tails are even, and tie them in a knot. I'm going to turn this around in a minute. Just a loose knot for now, so then I can pull the bag and get it so that everything's upright. So I pull the knot tighter and then I tie it again. I don't tie it in a bow at this point because I find it makes awkward bows. Now the ends, they're probably a bit long there. I mean, if you've got curling ribbon and you want to use curling ribbon, that's good as well. So I'm just going to cut them off at an angle because I quite like an angle on my ribbons. Okay, and now I'm going to make a bow separately. What else have I got here? I've got some nice white ribbon. It's a bigger piece there. So I'm going to make a bow out of this ribbon. Now, the way I make bows is I make 2 loops like that, so that, you know, you sort of half and half, find the middle of your ribbon first, and then make a loop at that side and a loop at that side. A bit bigger than that. I don't know whether you can see properly. I've got 2 loops like that, and then I just tie them together, and it does tend to give you, don't ask me why, but it tends to give you a more even bow. So just tie those 2 loops together and then pull it through. And it does tend to give you a bow where both of the loops are at the top and the dangly bits are dangling like that. Again, I'm going to cut these off at an angle, a bit shorter than that, I think, because it's, and then at the other side as well. So that's my bow. Then little dot of the hot glue, which is again is refusing to work. It's got a bit gunged up. And then put it on your whichever face you want at the front, usually where the knot is, like that. So there's your gift. Now that's come in at probably about £4, maybe slightly more, but definitely under £5. So it's well worth shopping around various supermarkets and finding something that is cheaper. Bits and pieces you can put together. It does look, I think it looks a lovely gift now. So for a child stocking filler, for a teacher gift, for instance, that would be really nice. Teachers tend, I know friends who are teachers, they tend to get a lot of the same things at Christmas, so they do appreciate something a bit different. So that is your hot chocolate gift. Now these are all going to go to my friends. They're not going to be wasted. The next thing I want to show you is another foodie thing, and it's a lovely way of dressing up a plain chocolate bar. So this one isn't a plain chocolate bar, it's got all sorts of little bits and pieces in it, but it still wasn't expensive, it was about £1. And to go with this is a pair of winter gloves. Now I've left the price on them, they were 70p. I'm going to take that price ticket off now, because obviously you don't give gifts with price tickets on. Well, I do a lot actually, but then you're not supposed to. That's not to come off now. There we go. And what we're going to do is turn this into a snowman. And how we're going to do that is very, very, very simple. You don't even need a lot of wrapping skills. You just need a piece of paper. You need some ribbons, which we've got. You need some Sharpies. So let me just, I've got them all in here. And we need some ribbon. I said that, didn't I? And this is, oh, some sticky tape. We're going old school sticky tape. So you wrap up your chocolate. This is just A4 copy paper. It's very, very cheap. Make a nice neat job of wrapping your chocolate up. My wrapping isn't the neatest, I have to say, but I have a husband who uses half a roll of sellotape and a whole roll of wrapping paper on each present, so you know, mine looks good by comparison. Now comes the fun bit. Just pull that a bit tighter at that end. On the other side, the side without the sticky tape, we're going to make our snowman. Now, to start with, one of your gloves becomes his hat. It's a weird looking hat. It does make him look a bit like a chicken. But we're going to put that on first so that we can see where the rest of the decoration is going to go. So, I'm just going to... It starts to look like a woolly hat because you've got the rib of your glove. And what you want to do is have the rib so that the chocolate is just the end of the chocolate bar is just on the rib, because we're going to tie this now with actually might use one of those little bobbles. You can use ribbon, you can use cord, you can use anything really, but as I said, where have I put them? It's going to be a day today where I'm going to keep saying, oh, where did I put that? Sure, I put them back in there. Sorry, excuse me. Ah, there they are, at the back to me. So looking at these, there's one there that's a little star, like a gingerbread star. I'll use that one. And there's some bows and there's some baubles. They're quite generic. They're not all, so I don't think you can see that, but that is a little star one. And what I'm going to do is gather the top of the hat with this bobble, so that it looks a little bit more like a woolly hat with a pom-pom on, and the little star. You're still there? So there we go. That's the wrong way around. Move the bobble round to the front. Right, so we've now got his hat on. The reason I put the hat on first is to get proportions, so that we can see where we're going to put the face and where we're going to put the rest of it. Now, the next thing we're going to do is make him some buttons down here. I'm going to leave the face till last. So I've got some red and green buttons. I always have jars of buttons. I'm a button obsessed person. So I'm going to find, that's a nice green button. I don't want them to match. I want them to be odd, because if you were making a snowman outside, you would just give him odd buttons. You wouldn't have him all matching. You'd give him whatever you could find. They don't want to come out. And see if I can find a lighter green one, or something a bit different. That's quite. That one's sort of tweedy. We'll use that one. And then I think I'll put a red one in between. I've got a jar of red buttons as well. Right, and they'll go on with the hot glue if I can get it to come out. If not, you can always use double-sided sticky tape or glue dots or something. So glue the buttons, not the paper. That's the first button. Please bear with me. I think I need new glue guns. Right, that is refusing to it. Just bear with me while I get some more glue. So if any of my family are watching, I'd love a glue gun for Christmas. These are glue dots, so we'll try these. I like glue dots. They're unmessy. They're simple to use, and they stick well. So that's my 3 buttons. And now the face. So the face is a snowman face. They're not hard to do. We'll do a sort of, I tend to do crosses for the mouth, because when I'm making crocheted toys, which I make a lot, I tend to find it easy to embroider a cross. I'm going to just put these little dimples on as well. I'll show you them all in a minute. A carrot nose, so that's a big triangle. We'll colour that in. And then eyes. I'm making him a bit cross-eyed and little eyebrows. Okay, so that is my face. And the final touch is a scarf. So we're going to use a bit of ribbon again. I'll use this red. We want a piece that's going to be long enough to wrap around our chocolate bar and make a sort of scarf shape. So we'll go about there. Depending on the size of your chocolate bar, it's about 18 inches. And then I'm going to tie that at the front into a double knot just to secure it. We might need to put a glue dot under it as well, stop it shifting. And then I'm going to tie like I don't know, you like I don't know. So it looks like a scarf. I think this is where my glue dot might come in handy. So I'll take another glue dot and pop it underneath where the scarf is going to sit. You can just press it onto the paper from the backing and it will peel off. The backing will peel off and leave the glue behind. And you could tie it in a bow if it's for a girl. But there you go. Now the other glove will tuck behind the ribbon at the back. So that is another nice gift for children. It's very cute. It looks great under your tree. They've got several little things in there. They've got the gloves, the chocolate, the hair bubbles. So there's a nice little gift there. I'm just going to pull that down so it doesn't. So, and you can see the other glove is behind. As I say, I got a pair of black gloves. I also got a pair of pink ones as well. So you could do that for a girl. Although the third gift I'm going to show you now, I might use the gloves in that. So when you're thinking about gifts for children, you think about toys and games, sweets, which we've done, and toiletries. Now, when I was looking for toiletries, I struggled to find boy ones. I did see some superhero ones, but they were odd. They were like little tubes, so I thought, no, I'll leave them. So what I came up with was some toiletries for girls, and I just, again, went round pound shops and picked up a few things. These 3 items came in under a £5. Probably better for young children. I got this nice hand soap in a sort of unicorn bottle. So that'll be nice. That can be refilled after Christmas and kept, because it's not a particularly Christmassy thing. I got this nice shower gel, space candy and coconut cream. It was just the packaging that drew my eye. And then I got 2 little chapsticks in candy cupcake, vanilla scented lip balm. So the 3 of them look nice together. The colours match. They're nice and girly. I'm going to put the pink gloves in with it. And I also have a marshmallow lolly that I picked up with my other things. I might put that in it as well. So again, we're going to package it up like we did the hot chocolate bomb. No, actually, not. I've got these. These are little cardboard takeaway boxes. They were left over from an event I was involved in, and I thought I'll keep those. They'll be handy because I always do that. I'm going to cover this and use it. Now, what I'm going to do is fold in these sides to make it a little bit more stable. I'm just cutting the tabs off because they just make it just too big for the sides to go in. Now, by folding the sides in and fastening them, we're making it a lot more stable. It is a little bit flimsy, this box, and I'm just going to use sellotape to tape up inside. It's worth never throwing anything away. I have to say, we probably throw, as a family, family, me and dog, and the dog. Throw very little away. This isn't sticking very well, so I'm going back to the glue dots. I tend to reuse everything. And people say stuff, but the certain tubular snack boxes I was talking about earlier, I don't actually eat them, but my friend does, so she saves them for me. And then, so I always have and she loves them, I always have a ready supply of those particular tubes, which we have made things before with them on the village balls, so you know what I'm talking about. Now I'm just putting a strip of these glue dots in between these. You can use any glue again. If my glue gun wasn't being silly, I would use my glue gun. But as I said before, the idea is to stabilize the box sides a little bit because they are a little bit flimsy, and this particularly is heavy. The unicorn bottle. Now, most of these gifts are aimed at younger children, but the principle is the same with everything, with all of them, because you're just collecting some nice items you think the child would like, and then you're making them look expensive by packaging them really well. Quite often, I save boxes that if I'm given a gift of toiletries and they come in one of those nice sort of very, very sturdy cardboard boxes, I'll save them and then I recover them in this sticky back plastic, which is great. I'm just thinking, what shall I cover it with? The Grinchy one is a little bit not girly. The other one I bought at the same time is this one. I don't know whether you can see, but it's got little dogs on. Now, this is my personal wrapping paper for this year, because I don't know whether you'll seen my little dog. Sometimes comes and joins me, but I'm very dog obsessed. So I'm going to cover this. Now, if you didn't want them to be able to see what the present was, you could have just folded this up, put the things inside and folded it up. But because these are quite tall, I'm going to have to make it like a hamper. But you could still, I'm being very wasteful with this and cutting a great big piece. You could still wrap it up afterwards if you wanted to. Right, so we'll cover this just by wrapping it up. We're going to make sure, I'm not very good at measuring when I wrap things, but this time I'm going to be trying to be a little bit more precise than I would normally be and make it the right size to just tuck into the box. I'm sure there are people out there who are much better wrappers than I am. So I want to, let's see if we can get the tape to work this time. And then just make a little gift basket, if you like, out of this. So I'm very inexpertly folding everything in. I told you I'm not very good at wrapping. Considering I do quite a lot of this, I'm not very good at it. So I'm going to just try and make sure that I cover all the box. Maybe I should fold that bit up. It's not going to cover all the boxes, but you'll get the idea. And all those corners in. So what we get is a nice little gift box to stand our things in. So you can see now, can you see it's got the doggies on? So that's our base, and in this we're just going to arrange our gifts. So that's our unicorn, our We'll put the taller one at the back. That's the shower gel. I'm going to stand it that way up, which the writing's upside down, but I'll turn it around so you can see. My chapsticks. You could take them out of the pack if the pack's obscuring other things. Yeah, I shall maybe put that behind there and that behind there. That's it. What else have we got? Our gloves. So I'll cut the, and again I'm going to fasten it up with one of those hair bobbles. We'll choose a prettier, girlier one. There's a little ribbon one there. Oh no, we'll choose the flower. It's like a Christmas flower. Can you see that one? So again, I'm going to roll the gloves and roll them with the fingers inside because otherwise they'll not roll properly. I didn't roll the gloves, did I? It was the socks I rolled. You could put socks in instead, but I'm going to fasten those up with a hair bobble like that. Pop them in there. And then the final thing, oh, I know what else I've got. Because of the shower, I wasn't sure whether I'd find space for it. I've got a little, one of these little puff things. It's supposed to be a gingerbread man, girl. So, but I'll pop that in as well. Not only will that, just checking there's no price on that. That'll help fill out the box as well. Stop things moving about. Put that there. And then last but not least, our lolly. And just going to try and make that stand up a bit better. It's difficult to get things together. I'm going to turn everything so it's sort of centered around the middle. It's difficult to get things so that they don't move about. So there's our little gift box. Now this time, because that's a little bit big to go in one of those poly bags I showed you earlier, I'm going to use the cellophane wrap. Now this is a double layer, so I don't think it's, no, I think that's not very deep. Wide, how's she going to get that around? So I'm going to cut a generous square and pray that I've cut enough. And then we're just simply going to unfold that and pop our gift box in the middle. And then gather it up. Gather the corners. Just going to move that a little bit further into the middle. I might need to stand up now so you won't see me, but I'm going to gather the corners together. Like that. Sorry, I have to stand up now. And then I'm going to tie them with the ribbon. Now, I'm just looking to see what I've got. That's kind of girly. I've got this really nice gold ribbon, and it's got a wire edge, so that makes tying it a little bit easy. Gather up my four corners, bunch them together. I'm just getting that so it's kind of halfway, and then I'm going to tie it in a knot. Don't worry about things sticking out at the sides, we're going to gather them later. Now, because this is quite a big bit of ribbon, I'm going to wrap it around a couple of times before I tie the bow. Now, I'm going to use the ribbon for the bow this time, but I'm going to tie it in the same way. So I'm going to tie it 2 loops tied, and then I can spread it out a little bit because it's got, as I say, it's got a little bit of wire in the edges of the ribbon. I just want to trim those. I do like a point on my ribbons. Actually, another trick is if you fold it in half, and then from the crease to the end, cut at an angle, you get those nice points. I don't know whether you can see that, but I'll lift it closer in a minute and show you. Right. Now these two side bits I'm just going to secure with a bit of sellotape. So they're just so they're not sticking out and nothing will fall out of your package. So there's our beautiful gift of toiletries. Now again, these are children's toiletries. They don't have to be. They could be adults. There's less than a fiver spent there, less than £5. All of these gifts we've done today, all three of them have come in at less than £5. In fact, that was our cheapest one. I think that was only about £3. So you can see that it's as much about presentation as what you give. And let's face it, we're all struggling at the moment. And the less we spend, the better for us. The beauty of this is as well, it shows a lot of thought has gone into the gift. It's not coming with a label onto Marks and Spencer's or wherever. And you get that little bit of sort of, somebody will go, oh, they've taken time to make those gifts for me. Children might not. Children tend to be a bit, let's open this and then open the next one. But if you're giving these gifts, a variation of these gifts to an adult, then they make lovely, lovely presents. My next session, which I think is in 2 weeks, is on gifts for adults. It's going to be based around foodie gifts and again, sort of toiletry based gifts. Everything's going to be under £10. Probably quite a lot of similar packaging. But please do tune in to see that one with me. I think that's about us. So I shall see you next time. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you again soon.